Hi guys, today I'm gonna talk about more advanced defense tactics for Kinmuso once again. First one, there seems to be nothing serious happening here, right? But this is very important. Why is this important? Because if you take a proper step, you can slow him down. The answer is this. Why is this important? Because if he doesn't want to trade Rook, he has to drop a pawn in order to block yours, right? Then you can just run. And here he was forced to drop a pawn, and he will have to wait to be able to exchange pawn once again. But by by the time it happens, you will have achieved better position, right? It's possible because you can slow him down like this, and you should be able to afford piece drop if you want to something if you want to do something like this, because if your defense is weak, you are the one who gets in trouble. Okay, next one. Here this square is under the attack, but it seems to be okay because this is protected by two generals, right? But it's attacked by two minor pieces. So it's, if it's possible, you don't want to give up a general for these minor pieces, and there has to be a good way. Again, this square is being attacked, right? And you can neutralize the attack by simple move. One simple move, that is this pawn push. Now the coordinated attack is breaking apart into pieces because now the knight is the only piece that is attacking the square, right? And this lance is looking at this pawn. So there is nothing to be afraid of. Okay, next. This one might be a little complicated for some people because there seems to be no way to defend against this attack, right? You might think so. Maybe that's because in this intense position you might be still trying to save a piece, but once you remove that thinking habit, you will find something good. And the answer is this. It looks like you are just giving up the silver, right? But it's okay because if he keeps going, you can trap the rook like this. So actually giving up the silver is okay because you will be able to capture the rook in turn. And what if he just waits? Then you can try to attack the lance by rook to 2-9. Then you can push the pawn to attack it. He has to take it, but then you can drop a pawn. Then you will win the lance. Let me show you a little endgame tactic this time. This horse is checking right now, and if you just run, you will lose this gold like this. And if you go to the opposite direction, it's going to be really dangerous. If he has extra pieces in hand, it can be checkmated, so you must avoid this dangerous position. And if you have minor piece in hand, you can just block the line like this one. It it seems it seems like it's making no sense for some people because you can take this pawn by the pawn, right? But it's okay. You can take this pawn by the gold, kicking the horse. Then he will eventually run out of moves, so this pawn drop is strong. Alright, next one. In this position, your first instinct would be running away as far as you can get. Like this. Then you will lose this knight. That's not good for black. So instead of just running, you can just stay on the third file to protect the knight. He can just keep checking, but then you can run. Here, the horse is not on the diagonal anymore, right? So he can't take this. If he insists like that, then the knight can run and there will be no damage. Alright, the last one. Finally, we are here on this position as it's shown on the thumbnail. This is very important and very frequent as well. Now, the second file is under the attack, but you also cannot ignore the presence of the dragon because it's scary, and how you react to this pincer attack position matters. If you just take the pawn, he persists like that. Obviously, if king takes it, you will lose the knight, right? But if silver takes it, he can drop a pawn on 2-8, as it's shown in the previous video. It's really dangerous like this. If king goes to the left, it's going to be checkmated, but if it goes to the right, he can sacrifice the dragon, and if you recapture the king, will be checkmated. So you must be able to do something before this happens. And here you made a major mistake, which is taking this pawn. You actually had to block the line by dropping a lance. This seems to be good, but since the second file is under the attack as well, so it's kind of risky because it's possible that this silver will be eventually removed and the king goes upwards to escape, right? But then you will lose this lance, so this square is kind of dangerous. And what about dropping it to 5-9? This is also not the best because then you can deal with this silver drop. If you do nothing then you will lose this lance, right? This seems to be great, but then your defense gets weaker. And instead of 5-9, I would suggest 4-9. Then you will be good to go. If you drop a lance to 5-9, like I showed you, he will keep going like this. But then, once again, you have to play a defensive move. So white gets to keep his turn, right? But if you drop it to 4-9, then there will be no good follow-up for white. If this silver drop you can just ignore, then take the pawn. then recapturing by the gold will be fine. And still your defense is pretty solid. Even if he promotes the pawn to 2-7, silver recaptures, then your king will be safer. Alright, that's all. I hope it's been helpful and you will be able to enjoy double ranging rook matches more. And as always, take care and thanks for watching. Bye.